Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special video. We're on the road to Crypticon. Crypticon is a horror convention that is a couple of weeks away. And in honor of something I'm doing at Crypticon, I am actually going to make a some special videos that are going to be on this channel regarding the Friday the 13th franchise. Now, they're not just going to be on the movies, but they're going to be on the aura, my thoughts on it. This one's going to be more about what guides me to Friday the 13th as my all time favorite horror franchise and why it's so special to me. So, Friday the 13th is something that I hold dear. Whether it's my Jason masks, I have one I got from the original Crypticon back when it was in Everett. The other one I got for a Christmas present from my friend Jake. I also have the Nika figures. I have Friday the 13th shirts. I have Jason tattooed right there on my wrist that I also got at Crypticon one year. And I just love Friday the 13th. Now, one of the reasons I've always adored Friday the 13th is it has this aura to it. This really good quality that most of the movies I can always watch start to finish. I can put on a Jason movie and I'll always watch it. There's only one Jason movie in the franchise that kind of rubs me the wrong way, and that would actually be Freddy versus Jason for obvious reasons. The reasons would possibly be when I was in high school, I would go to upcominghorrormovies.com and I would find about all the new scripts, all the changes, everything. So for the longest time, I had a copy of the screenplay, the version I wanted to see, which had the people who survived Jason Goes to Hell, the Jarvises were in there, as was Alice from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And it really was like this intense horror story. That's one thing I like about Jason. A lot of them aren't comical. You look at stuff like Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, they just kind of dipped off and became more slapstick. Jason has always been an in your face kind of character, completely aggressive. And they're unique because what most people don't realize in most of the movies, there's like this unique layer of an onion they peel back. Whether it's in some when they show his house or there's different methodical steps. So you get the that Jason's kind of like a hunter, a predator. He knows what he's doing. He's smarter than he gives off. And the movies are just greatly done. And I really like that. Now I want to go back to when I first found Friday the 13th. So at the time I've been in horror my whole life, but what I was doing was I was really trying. I didn't know what type of horror I liked at the time. I was getting towards the age, I was about 10 or 11, and I literally I've seen Jason before. When I was a kid, they rented not Nightmare, Friday the 13th Part 3 3D from the video store, and we all watched it. And it scared me for years. So what happened is we're going through some VHSs, and there was these plastic VHS tape, like the clamshells, and inside these three clamshells that we ended up buying at the store, what it what it said was on there wasn't what was on there. So we watched it, and it was Friday the 13th. It was all um seven. So at the time there was these seven. I didn't see Jason Takes Manhattan until a little bit, probably about a couple months later. So what happened was it was in June of 1996. So in '96, I literally watched these movies, and it was the first time I saw them uncut, uncut edition, because I had seen bits and pieces of the Friday the 13th movies on Monster Vision, but this was flat out watching all of them uncut in order, and I think in the span of like 3 days, I watched all of them, and I thought it was really cool watching all of them, and I was 10 or 11 years old. And then right after that, I found out I was going to camp, which is really weird. You just watched the Friday the 13th series for the first time, and then you're going to camp, and then the camp I was at, which was Camp Silverton, only had three walls. Where my bunk was, it was a triangle that was open, and all you could see was the lake. So periodically, I thought I saw Jason at the lake. It's actually kind of unique, and it really incorporated a lot with me on that. And then it grew, and it got to the point where I just love Friday the 13th. Even I started, it was about a year and a half later, where I actually started writing fan fiction based on the Friday the 13th franchise. So I would go and do that. And then I got around to watching Jason Goes to Hell, but when I was watching it, it reminded me that I'd seen this probably in like 92 or 93 when I was like 6 and 7 years old. And I remember watching it, but it didn't strike me as a Jason movie. Now, I used to hate that movie, and I've gone to love it for what it is. It's more of an occult movie than a Jason movie. So I really liked it. And then when I was sophomore, sophomore in high school, I saw the trailer for Friday the 13th Jason X. So I was so excited. I told my friend Mike, and we went. Literally, we did a lip sync at our high school, and we did like a Slipknot song. We did "Wait and Bleed," and right after that, wearing face paint, fishnet shirt, and trip pants with a three-tier hawk, I went and saw Jason X. It was cold outside, but I went and saw Jason X, and I loved it. I did. I truly loved it. And then 2003 happened, where the summer that I graduated high school, I saw Freddy versus Jason. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what version of Freddy versus Jason I'm going to get. Because I knew that there was tons of scripts and I had been following it. But then I realized I was disappointed. I didn't like it. I've grown to utterly hate that movie because it's more of a Freddy movie than a Jason movie. And literally could not stand it. But what Friday the 13th series also did is it showed me my favorite genre is the slasher genre. Mass killer going after a group of teenagers slash adults, and they killed off one by one in interesting, unique ways. Now, granted, none of them I've ever seen have ever lived up to Friday the 13th. And that's probably because I love that franchise so much, and I rewatch it and I show it to people, which is my love and aspiration for it. Every time I talk to people about how to everybody at my work always calls me, "Oh, you're the Jason guy. You're the Friday the 13th guy," because they know how much I love and adore the Friday the 13th series. Because how many people can you really say, "I have an oil painting of Jason Voorhees in my room," or "You have Jason masks," or "You have toys of Jason"? I have a figure of Jason that I stumbled upon at a yard sale for like $5, and it's one of the Movie Maniacs ones. I also have I don't think it's Nika. I think it's a different company, but it's a Friday the 13th figure from the 2009 version, and that was really cool. So one of the reasons I'm doing these videos about my retrospective is because Friday the 13th Vengeance is a fan film that's being made, and you have C.J. Graham playing Elias, and you have Jason Brooks playing Jason Voorhees. And I've been in contact off and on with Jason Brooks of the franchise, and I truly love and adore what they've been doing, and I think it's great. And it is one of the best things that heightens because for 10 years I've been waiting for another Jason movie. And for 10 years I've had to wait. And this just absorbs everything I want in a Friday the 13th movie, which means the world to me because throughout my life when things aren't going right and you know relationships crumble, I can always put on Friday the 13th and I am absorbed into, you can call it nostalgia, you can call it throwback. I call it good time enjoying watching these films, enjoying watching them. My fiance, I got into Friday the 13th. She was more into watching the Halloween movies, and then I showed her Friday the 13th, and she adored it as well. So you can call it unique or whatever, but it's something great that I just love. So this has been the first video, and in the following weeks, I'll be releasing more content regarding around Friday the 13th, and I just hope that you guys like it. It's my road to Crypticon. So this month there's going to be a lot of horror content on this channel compared to usual, but I love it. Crypticon's my Christmas. Every year since 2010 I've gone. So just watch these videos. If you like it, you can like it. You can leave comments in the section. Subscribe if you want. I know a good portion of people just watch these and don't subscribe, but as long as you watch it, as long as you get some enjoyment out of these videos, that's all I ask for. So I will talk to you guys later.